Hey, what's going on, everybody? I thought I'd jump on here today. I know that's odd. This is a Tuesday. I don't usually do live streams on a Tuesday, but you know what? I'm hearing so much stuff. In the media and in the world outside the door today, and I wanted to jump on here and talk about it. And I hope that you guys are safe and you're well where you are, and I hope that everybody's good and that you're not being affected by this virus. And again, it's a crazy, mad world outside. But you know what makes it even worse is all the misinformation and all of the stuff that's getting bounced around day in, day out. Oh my goodness. Where are we as a society? We have come to the point where we're losing our minds. Flat out, we're losing our minds. Now, let me start out by saying, I'm not going to talk about, all the specifics of the coronavirus. I'm not going to talk about, all the little details about the virus because I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things. But what I do know is what I see in the world just outside. And I do know what I see with the way people are reacting to this. And it's really scary where we are as a society, where we are as a people, that we have to act the way that we do. And again, there's so much misinformation that's out in the world today that's just running amok. And that's the only way I know to put it, running amok, where people are just, having meltdowns. We are having actual meltdowns in the street. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting some things here so I can see a little better. But it's crazy to me, and it's crazy to me to hear the way some people talk. It's crazy to me to hear some of the things that are getting bounced around. And it's not only crazy, it's really scary. It's really scary because we're not taking the time to research and learn something for ourselves. We're not taking the time to ingest actual information that would be helpful to us and would probably and most likely ease our fears. We're taking the word of a news reporter. And granted, they have their place, they have their job to do, but we're actually taking the word of a news reporter and taking it as gospel. And you know what? That's even more scary than what's going on in the world today. That's more scary than any virus that could possibly affect us and do us bodily harm. Because things like that, it plays on our fears. And it plays on our emotions, and it plays on something deep within us. Let's be honest, it's our fear of death. We're scared of death. We're scared that something like that is going to visit us, or one of our family members, or the person we're with, your husband, your wife, your children. We're terrified of that. And when things like this happen, we feed into that machine that's constantly churning and constantly putting out information that we just ingest, and we go, it's got to be the truth. It's on TV. We need to stop. We need to actually stop and just take a moment and take a deep breath and step back and go, okay, what is actually going on here? And I think once we do that, we'll have a better understanding, and we'll have more confidence, and we'll have a better foot forward, if you will, when we step out each and every day to go about our normal lives. Now, I'm not saying that this is not a bad thing, that yes, it's a very real virus that we have to deal with. It's a very real problem. But I promise you, people are smart. Our scientists and our medical community are light years ahead of us in the way that they think and the things that they know and the way they can research and develop vaccines for this. And though it takes time, they're going to get there. They are going to get there, I promise you. And are we going to lose lives along the way? Yes, it happens. But we can't let that dictate who we are, how we act, how we live our lives. We've got to have level heads. And especially for you men out there, let me tell you something. If you are a man and you have a family, you need to be a man, and you need to be the head of that family to stand up and go, hold on, let's figure this out. Hold on, let me take control of this. That's what you've got to do. That's what I've done with my family. Yes, it's very real. Yes, it has the potential to take lives. Yes, it's going to spread. But we can't let that dictate who we are and how we act, especially you men. And if you're a single lady and you're taking care of your family and you're raising your kids by yourself, step up and be the mother that they need and that leader. We've got to do that. And not only just with our families, we've got to do that with the people in our community, the people that we come into contact with each and every day. We can't be feeding into that fear and into that, oh, it's unknown. I don't know what we're going to do. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to come together as a country. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get back to normal. And when we get back to normal, we're going to do what we always do as humans. We're going to revert back to that happy-go-lucky man or woman sitting on the couch watching The Real Housewives. Aren't we? We are. And then the next scare is going to come up, and we're going to be right back in the same situation. What's going on in the world today? Let me rephrase that. What's going on in our society today is shameful. It's really shameful. And it's not only shameful from street level, but the higher you get, there are elements of that are very shameful, are very shameful. Very shameful. From a street level, look at us as a society. Look what we're doing. We're having fights and arguments about toilet paper. We're having fights and argument about food on the shelves, about this is mine, you can't have it, and I will fight you for it. Think about that for a moment. We are arguing and fighting over toilet paper. How shameful is that? And unfortunately, because we have a hoarding mentality, people are going without. People that may really need some of this stuff that we're stockpiling in our basement that's either going to go to waste or at some point we're never going to have to buy it again because we bought every stitch of toilet paper in every store that we came across. I mean, think about that for a moment. Stop and really think about that for a moment. We've got to be able to detach ourselves from this. Yes. Don't be to the point where you don't take precautions. Wash your hands. Clean your house. Clean the things you come in contact with. Wash your hands. Keep your distance. Don't get in crowds if you don't have to. Yes, be smart about this. Be smart about it because it's very real, but don't go off the deep end. It's funny to me. They say, stay out of crowds. Don't get in 10 or more. Don't do this. Wash your hands. Keep yourself separated. Do whatever it is you've got to do to stay away from mass public. And what do? We rush into grocery stores, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, and we're fighting over whatever we can get our hands on. You know why we do that? It's mimetic. And you know what that is? It's when we see somebody doing something and we think, well, why are they doing that? I need to do that. And then it breeds that as it goes along. And then somebody else sees you doing it because the first guy did it. And before long, it snowballs to the point where everybody's doing it. And it's mass hysteria. And half the people probably don't even know why they started doing it to begin with. They're just, I got to do this. I got to do it. Well, why? Well, that guy did it. Well, why did he do it? I don't know, but I saw him doing it and I got to do it. That's how we are. That's how we are. And it's crazy. I'm telling you, it is crazy out there right now. I've got a son that works in a grocery store, and he says that people are just buying everything and anything. We've got to be able to stop. We've got to be able to take a step back, and we've got to be able to study and learn and rationalize for ourselves what's actually going on. Now, will you understand everything about COVID-19? No. Will you understand all the medical terms and all the scientific jargon and the way it mutates and morphs and spreads? No, I won't either. But I tell you one thing that I do know. I do know that I need to be sensible. I need to take precautions, and I do. I wash my hands. I stay away from people. If somebody's sneezing and coughing, steer clear. Go around. Go away. And I get why people are hoarding stuff, because they feel like we're going to go into this lockdown like Italy or other countries that are in a lockdown situation. But let me tell you something about America. We may have a shutdown of businesses. We may have a time when we are urged to stay away and stay at home. But I don't think we're going to get to the point that some of these countries are. And the reason I say that is because our healthcare system and our healthcare professionals are to the point and at the level that is light years ahead of other countries. We don't have socialized medicine. We have the greatest free market healthcare in the world. And because of that, it spurs the necessity to create and the invention and the technological advances that keep us healthy. But we're forgetting that. We are forgetting that. I heard on the news this morning. I actually heard on the news this morning, and I had to turn it off, because I'm driving to work and I'm listening and I'm hearing what people are saying, and I'm listening to the guests come on, and I'm listening to really intelligent people come on and talk about this situation, talk about the virus, talk about the impact, talk about the things that are really going to affect us. And you know what I heard as the experts, the people that know, as they were telling, here's what we need to do. Here's what's going on. Here's the situation. Here is what is happening. Yeah, but what about? Yeah, but I don't think so. Yeah, but now let's look at it this way. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is when people start doing that? That is feeding a frenzy. That is feeding into the fears of the people. Watch your local news. Watch the national news. Watch any newscast you want to. Do you see them really bringing people in that are in the know about this situation and going, hey, let's get your where you are, tell me who you are, and let's talk about what we can do to actually keep ourselves safe and what the professionals are doing to keep us safe. Do you see them doing that? No. What do you see? You see the reporter standing in front of the empty shelves at the grocery store. Oh, there's nothing here. Food's in short supply. Grocery stores can't keep up. You know why they can't keep up? Because you just poured gasoline all over the situation, lit a match, and threw it on it. And once you do that, guess what happens? The frenzy grows bigger and bigger and bigger until it's this monster that you cannot control. We need to take a break from the news. We need to cut that off. You want to learn about the COVID-19? You want to learn about the coronavirus? You want to learn its true impact in the world? Go to the CDC.gov. Go to where the professionals are actually telling you what's going on. Don't go to Fox News. Don't go to CNN. Don't go to MSN. Stay away from these media outlets that are just feeding this frenzy. We've lost our minds, and we're treating each other like garbage. It's a shame. It's a real shame. If you want to get real information and you want to get away from the sensationalism, the best advice I can give you, turn your TV off. Turn your radio off. Go to those that know. Go to the places that can give you real information about this. Calm down, slow down, back up a little bit and go, you know what? I need to take a deep breath because I'm running crazy. And it feeds. Oh, it feeds. You know, my wife, I love her to death. And she's a level-headed woman. She's got her head screwed on right. But it's a constant barrage of this and this and this. Oh, what about this and what about this? Eventually it starts to wear on you and you go, yeah, what if? What if? I call it bus mentality, folks. I tell the people that I work with every day, it's bus mentality. If you go out and get hit by a bus today, could you have stopped that? No. It's going to happen at some point. It's going to visit us all, but we can't live in fear of it. I don't see a bus coming down the road and go, oh, it's a bus. You can't do that. You got to just think through it. You know, they were talking yesterday, the CDC actually put out the new stats of all the things that are going on with this COVID-19. They actually put out the new stats yesterday. Now, here's the deal. I want you to think 350 million Americans in the United States alone. Now, think about that for a moment. Let that number just kind of sink in and marinate in your brain. And that gray matter that's smarter than what you're giving it credit for right now. Let that sink in and marinate just for a minute. 350 million Americans. You know how many cases are in the United States reported? 3,487. 3,487 cases in the United States as of Monday, March 16th. Think about that for just a minute. Now, does that mean there's not more cases out there that people don't know about? Yeah, there's more cases because people are out and about. It's going to spread. It's going to go to a lot more people. Its reach maybe even bigger than what people think. But again, we don't know. So as of Monday, March 16th, 3,400 cases. Out of that, the total deaths. Now here, again, we just talked about the number of people in the United States. Think about this for a minute. The total number dead was 68. And of those 68, let me get down here. I'll get to that in just a second. Here's the way the cases break down. 205 were considered travel related. 214 were considered close contact. That's how it spread. Under investigation are 3,068. So the total number of cases, 3,487 cases in the United States. Now, when you actually go to the cdc.gov, here's what they say. Who is at higher risk? Early information, whenever they're looking at this, and all of the data that they have on it is one, older adults. Now, does that mean that younger adults won't have an occurrence, or that one in whatever percentage is going to, have a mortality effect because of this, or going to die because of this? That doesn't mean they're not going to. But right now, it's older adults and people who have serious chronic medical conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and lung disease, and people whose immune system are compromised already. That's where the deaths are coming from. But you know what I heard on the news this morning? Even though the CDC released this on Monday afternoon at 4 p.m., the news this morning, there's 85 to 100 deaths. Where are you getting that information? Where did you get that information? And think about it. When the news talks about this, what do they say? Oh, the deadly virus, the deadly coronavirus, the deadly. But think about all the people in the United States, and there are only 68 reported deaths as of Monday afternoon, March 16th. It's a media frenzy, folks. We just need to, I'm not saying it's not serious. I'm not making light of it. But what I am saying is we need to be smart. We need to be sensible. We need to stop for a minute and just say, let me rationalize through this. Let me be an adult. Let me be the adult in the room and rationalize this for a moment. And just think about this. And let me think through this. I think if we have the ability to do that, we'll be much better off. If we have the ability to walk over to the TV, now I'm really showing my age because you used to have to walk over to the TV and click it on. But if we have the ability to just cut off the noise box, that big glowing box hanging on the wall that just dumbs us down continually, if we have the ability to cut that off and actually stop and research for ourselves, I think what you'll find is that we are able to deal with these things. We are able to deal with crisis. We are able to get through a crisis in sensible ways without having to make a run on toilet paper. without having to buy every single thing in a grocery store. Be prepared. Buy stuff for your family. Put stuff away for your family. Take care of your families. But don't do it to the point where other people can't take care of theirs. I really hope if people are buying all of this toilet paper and hoarding it and putting it away, I really hope that they're helping out their communities. They're helping out their family. They're helping out their friends. I hope that that's what they're doing. Because that's when we see the good in people. Right now, we're seeing a lot of bad in people. We're seeing a lot of just me, selfish, selfish, selfish. That's what we're seeing. It's really shameful how we're acting. And I know it's out of fear, but we should not let fear control us. Somebody is passing around this thing, through Instagram and through text and through whatever. Oh, I've got a friend of a friend of a friend who works at the CDC, and they have it under good knowledge that Trump's going to lock down the country in 48 hours. You just wait and see. Okay. So if he does, what then? What then? I'm telling you right now, when it comes to our government, while there is sectors of our government that are there to help us and to take care of us, think of it like this. If you walk into your living room and your children are just tearing up the furniture and tearing things down, and they're in a mass frenzy, and they're just destroying stuff, and they're fighting and arguing, and they can't, what do? What do? You step in and you take control, right? You step in and you fix the situation, and they're not going to be happy about it. They're not going to be happy about it because you're going to impose a rule on them that's, one, going to stop the frenzy, is going to make them go to separate rooms, is going to be very uncomfortable for them. If we continue down this path, do you not think the government would do the same thing to us? And again, this is not tinfoil hat stuff. This is not conspiracy stuff, and that's not what we're talking about. But think about it for a minute. If we can't control our own emotions and our own actions and our own reactions, somebody will have to do it for us. And that's when it gets scary, folks. Again, we're not on that. It's not a conspiracy thing. So what does the CDC say to protect yourself? Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. We should be washing our hands anyways. I wash mine. I can't stand it when I get something on my hand and it feels like I have to wash my hands. Wash your hands. Avoid touching, public surfaces. If you're licking guardrails as you're walking around in public, you got some problems. Just avoid things like that. It's common sense measures. Clean and disinfect your home. I can't tell you the times my wife goes around the house. A whole bunch of animals. And she's constantly cleaning, doing something. I can't tell you the number of times she does that. Dorian Gray, how are you, man? Thanks for jumping in here. I know this is odd on a Tuesday for a live stream, but I thought, you know what? I just wanted to kind of vent a little bit. And some of the stuff I've seen going on in the world lately. Dorian, thanks for jumping in. Avoid crowds. Again, I said that earlier. Avoid crowds. If you don't have to get into a crowd, don't. I'll tell you what, I'm a social misfit. I'm comfortable right here. I am. My wife says, well, you get on there and you act like, yeah, because I'm in my own little cocoon. I avoid crowds. I'm not even going to say that because that sounded bad, but I do avoid crowds. I don't like to be in big. Hey, John, how are you, man? I avoid crowds like you would not believe. I'll go hang out with people sometimes, but I won't. It's like if somebody says, hey, Scott, you want to go to this party? No. It's not because I don't like people. It's because I feel icky. I feel like a social misfit when I get in a big group of people because I don't know what to say. I don't know how to make small talk. I don't know how to run my mouth. Now, people I'm comfortable around, they want me to shut up. They're like, would you just please hush? But people I don't know, I'm already ahead of the curve on that one. Non-essential travel. If you don't have anywhere to go and it's not for business and it's not pressing, don't go. don't go. So those are just some of the things that you can do. And again, those are common sense things. So think about it. We're talking about the number of deaths because of this virus. 68 as of last count, as of last status update on cdc.gov as of Monday afternoon. Hey, okay, how are you? Good to see you. But think about that. So 68 deaths at the end of the day on Monday. And I want you to really think about this as we get into some of these stats. So if you take that and you compare it to the normal influenza, known as the common flu. Now I'm reading from my notes here because I wanted to make sure this was right. It's affected as many as 45 million Americans since October and killed as many as 46,000 according to estimates for the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. So think about that. Think about that for a moment. The CDC predicts that at least 12,000 Americans will die from the flu in any given year. That's any given year. That's not maybe 1 year and then 10 years later, maybe again. Any given year. That's the estimate. 12 to 30 million people will die from the flu each and every year. You don't see a mass panic about that. You don't see mass hysteria about that. You don't see toilet paper flying off the shelves about that. We've gotten to the point with that where we go, okay. Hope I'm not one of them. Get my flu shot. We're losing our minds, folks. Here's another one for you. Let's just keep comparing it to the COVID-19. Let's just keep going down this road. The H1N1 strain of influenza first appeared in 2009, and that year there were between. Now here, the estimates they're saying the estimates are a lot higher than what was actually posted. Between 151,000 and 575,000 deaths were caused by that new strain, that new influenza, H1N1. Do you know how many in the United States alone died from that? Take a guess. I know you can't guess because here we are. 12 to 13,000 of those in the U.S. alone out of that many cases worldwide. Alone in the United States. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you remember, because I don't, and this may be my Mandela moment, but I don't remember an outrage and mass hysteria and mass frenzy and toilet paper hoarding and rushes on the grocery store like I'm seeing now. I don't remember that. I just don't remember that. Do you? Because I don't. And I don't remember the media frenzy feeding into this saying, oh, it's this, it's that. It's this person's fault. Do you? No. You didn't hear the media talking about it like that at all. So I want you to let that sink into your gray matter for a moment. Think about that. Think about that. What is the media doing to us? My wife asked me the other day, she says, why do they always show the celebrities who've gotten this COVID-19? I'll tell you why. Because it sensationalizes it. It feeds the frenzy. Tom Hanks got it. Okay. He's human. He got it. Oh, this other celebrity got it. Okay. He's human. I'll tell you what you don't see, though. You don't see the big plans and high hopes and dreams of all these, oh, I've got a plan, and oh, you should do this, and oh, you should do that. Celebrities coming out now, do you? No. You know where they are? Hidden behind the walls in their mansions. Where's your social outcry now? Where's your calls for, we've got to heal everybody. We've got to save society. No, you're worried about your own skin. You're worried about your own hide. So save your hypocrisy for yourself and your little circle. That's why they do it. That's why this celebrity's got coronavirus. What are we going to do? We're going to live our lives. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go on as human beings. That's exactly what we're going to do. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what? In a year from now, no matter how many people we've lost because of this, no matter how many people are affected in a negative way, no matter what happens, We're going to look back on this, and we're going to see our depravity. We're going to see our strength. We're going to see how we came together and how we separated ourselves. We're going to see the people that we didn't take care of. We're going to see the people that we spit on to get toilet paper. And then we're going to have a lot to deal with at that point, aren't we? And you know what? Once this is over, once this scare is over, once this scare has been put on the shelf with the flu and H1N1, once it's there and collecting dust, and it becomes a natural part of what we go through year after year, guess what? We're going to be the same fat, dumb, and happy people sitting on the couch watching whatever reality show is being pushed down our throat until the next one comes along. And then we're going to be right back to where we were because we don't learn. We don't have the ability to learn as human beings anymore. We have to have somebody spoon feed us what the truth to them or what they want us to believe the truth is. We have to have somebody spoon feed us things day in, day out because we can't do it for ourselves. We're in a sad state right now. Hang on just a second, guys. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. When are we gonna get back to normal? When are we going to get to a point where we learn and know things for ourselves? When are we going to get to the point where we're not being scared to death by the media day in, day out? When you see the guy standing in front of the empty shelf, cut the TV off. Cut the TV off. Go hug your kids. Go listen to a song on the radio. Understand, it's very real. It's right now, right here. We're dealing with it. We're going to get through it. You know, another thing too, and you don't hear about this. Now, this could be South Korea, I believe, more than I believe China, but South Korea is on the other side of the bell curve on this one. They're on the decline. And some reports are saying China is as well. So again, yes, it's very real. Yes, it's very scary. Yes, there's a lot of unknown, but it shouldn't be enough to drive us to the point where we are losing our freaking minds. I mean, come on. Come on. Sorry, I don't mean to rant. And I'm not. I'm not a crazy guy. I'm not a tinfoil hat wearing guy. I know I do a podcast and I talk about conspiracy theories, but I think they're fun to talk about. But the thing about it is I see where we are as a society and as a nation right now, and it's really sad. It's really sad. You've got elderly people and older couples that are afraid to go out of their house because people are acting like lunatics. They're afraid to go grocery shopping. Think about that. Gun sales are up. You know why? People are afraid you're going to come take their toilet paper. Where are we as a nation? We're definitely not together here. We are losing our ever-loving minds. Do you know between 1348 and hang on just a second. Yeah, the bubonic plague. Here's another one for you. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dorian. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the comment. I apologize. Guys, just carry on. The bubonic plague. Now, this was responsible for the Black Death, which reached its height between 1348 and 1350. It killed 1/3 of the population in medieval Europe. Think about that for a minute. 1/3 of the population. The Spanish flu. This was considered one of the deadliest flu pandemics in history. And it spread through the world at the end of World War I in 1918. 1/3 of the world's population was affected, and this pandemic was caused by an H1N1 influenza virus. It doesn't give me a stat on that, but this was one of the deadliest flu outbreaks ever recorded. Seasonal flu every year claims about 500,000 lives worldwide. 12,000 to 13,000 of those were here. Yes, you're absolutely right, Dorian. It was the flea. Tuberculosis. This disease caused major health concern in the future worldwide due to increased spread through tiny droplets of saliva, which are released in the air when an infected person sneezes, coughs, or talks. Most common in Asia and Africa. It says tuberculosis killed about 1 to 5 million. 1 and 5 million people, mostly in the developing countries. Yeah. There's malaria. We deal with malaria too. Did you know malaria causes 1 million deaths every year worldwide? Cholera. This is a disease that spreads through contaminated water. It kills about 100,000 people every year. Cholera. 100,000 people every year. Here's one for you. Think about this one for a minute. Let this one just sink in. HIV/AIDS has killed more than 25 million people worldwide since it was discovered in 1981. 25 million people. Cancer. That's another disease. It meets all the criteria of a pandemic, except you can't catch it through breathing or somebody breathing on you. You know how many people died in 2008 from cancer? 7.6 million people. So when I look at what's going on in the world today, and I look at the actual statistics from the CDC and not Fox News and not CNN and not MSNBC, what I see is, yes, we're at the beginning. Will it get to that level? I don't know. I think they're working on it now to come up with a vaccine for it. They're actually doing testings with vaccines right now. Will it be released to the general public in less than a year? I would say no. But I think by that time, we're going to know a lot about this virus. We're going to know a lot about, its effects, who it affects more. We're going to know a lot about not only its incubation period, but, how long the effects last, how long a healthy person will actually feel the results of this. Most people have probably already had this and don't even know it. That's what the health organizations are saying. You probably already had it and you don't know it. Some of the things to look for, high fever, of course, cough, a dry cough, sneezing, of course, blue lips, bluish colored skin, trouble breathing. Those are the things to look for. And here's another one that's scaring people too. Oh, we don't have enough testing stuff. We don't have enough kits. We don't have enough this. You know why? Because you're creating a nightmare scenario out in the streets, and people at the first sniffle, I've got to go get tested, and they rush off and they flood our healthcare facilities for nothing more than a common cold or just allergies. If you're not exhibiting those symptoms, they're telling you to stay away for a good reason, not because they're trying to keep something from you. It's just crazy where we are. Yeah, I know, John. It's spread in different ways, but when you talk about things that are actually killing people year after year after year, these are things that are really big. All I'm saying, guys, is be safe, be careful. Don't go nuts. Don't hoard toilet paper. At some point. I think at some point we're gonna feel really foolish about all the toilet paper we get. Well, maybe not. You know who I think this is hurting the most, the toilet paper shortage? I'll be honest with you, Chipotle. They're probably mad because there's no toilet paper to go around. You can't go to Chipotle. A good supply of toilet paper at the house. We're losing our minds. We're losing our minds, guys. just be good to everybody. Try to be understanding. Try to protect yourself and your family, no matter what your family looks like. Keep yourself safe. Was the old Queen song, Keep Yourself Alive? Love that song. You know, and whatever happens, happens. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. No matter what that looks like. No matter what the landscape looks like when we're done, we will get through it. We just got to chill out, take a deep breath, back up from the situation, and understand it is what it is. We're going through it. We're gonna get to the other side of it. But guys, I'm not gonna stay on long. I just wanted to jump on here. I've been going for about 45 minutes. This has been gnawing at me all day long, and I just wanted to get it out there on my channel. And again, I'm not trying to sensationalize anything. And please, if you're stumbling into this stream late, go back and watch the beginning where I said I'm not going to talk about the virus because I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. I'm just a guy who's looking at the world around him go nuts. Did they? Anyway. Guys, I appreciate you coming in. It's pretty good for a Tuesday. I do appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out of your afternoon. Hopefully your day's been good. I hope that you don't pick your nose. Hopefully you guys have a great week ahead of you. You know, and you're safe. And again, I hope that if you do come into contact with this or know somebody that does, that it's a speedy recovery. And it's, you know, and it's nothing severe or nothing that's life-threatening or life-altering. And I hope that, you know, you guys get through it. So anyway. So, I'll tell you what. After this stream is over here in just a few minutes, leave me some comments down below. And if you wouldn't mind, hit the like for me. I was talking about that the other day, that we're all just beggars here on YouTube. A like for my video. So. But I appreciate you coming by. But I'm definitely going to jump off here. I've got to go hang out with the family tonight. Again, I just wanted to do this real quick. Throw some stuff out there. Get some stuff off my chest. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks for being my I don't want to call it a support group, but you know, my cast of usual suspects. Thank you for doing that. I do appreciate it. It means more than you know. I like it that you guys come by and hang out with me. It makes me think you're maybe getting something out of these live streams. I don't know. But anyway. Nice. It's like John Wayne toilet paper. Rough and tough and don't take crap off nobody. But anyway. John, Big Fish, Dorian, thank you so much. Okay. I don't know where he went to, but thanks for coming in. Guys, I hope you have a great night. Sorry to cut it short, but I'm going to go hang out with the family. Yeah, jump in the shower. That's what people are saying. Waffle it down. So, I do appreciate it. Hate to jump off here. Big Fish, you as well, my friend. We'll do it again Saturday night at 7. So if you're hanging out, got nothing to do, come on in. We'll do a lighthearted topic on Saturday. We'll find something fun to bounce around, something everybody can get into. So come back and join us on Saturday. I'll put something together for us. Should be a good time, and I'll promote it as much as I can, see if I can get some more people in. But thanks, guys, for spending some time with me this afternoon. Hope you have a great night, better day tomorrow, and a wonderful week ahead of you. And until next time, we'll do it again.